Three, two, one. Hi, my name is Reanimation, and today I will be running Days Before Xmas on the Sega Genesis. I'm going to take a second here and let my couch behind me introduce themselves.
I'm John Borg.
Hi, I'm Sloth the Agent. I run this game, and I created the first task for this game.
And I'm Imageless Spade from Team Reanimation.
The timer starts when Santa starts moving. And now. So right off the bat, you'll notice this game is reminiscent of Doritos Crash Course in the sense that you're going through the obstacle course and trying to make your way to the exit as quickly as possible. Like so.
And that was a frame perfect right directional pad input that he's going to keep held down. If he's lucky, he'll survive and be able to damage boost through this stage. And well, he did it again. Amazing.
And during those first two levels, you notice that there's not enough enemies to kill you, so you can run straight through them. Your health does regenerate at the next level.
In this level, there's a lot of frame-perfect jumps. Reanimation wants to make sure to avoid any kind of jumping other than the pre-described path.
Not a problem for Santa. He's a master hurdler, as far as I can tell.
Another thing you'll notice, I'm not killing any enemies or collecting presents, because we found that at the end, when the prize counter counts up the total score you got, it'll tack on an extra second. So we avoid collecting presents in the earlier levels, but it's not feasible later on to do so. Only for the first few. Another thing you notice, I'm trying to jump off these carpets just slightly early. It's not the biggest time save, but it adds up in the long run.
Santa's known for riding magic carpets. That's what he does.
Same thing with other snow level, you want to make sure to run to the right immediately so you can hit the icebergs ahead on the one cycle. It'll enable you to get across the water sooner, and that's instead of having to wait for them to come back and take extra time under that, add extra time under your run.
This is the first boss that we're going to come to. You'll notice that Reanimation picked up a power-up at the bottom of this hill, and it shoots fireballs. Well, I found out when I started running this game that if you jump frame perfectly on top of the snowman, you can actually bounce and kill him instead of riding the cloud up and down to shoot fireballs. It saves roughly 5 seconds or so.
Most effective way to kill the snowman.
And now's a good time for some donations.
We probably have time for a few more donations.
As you can see, this level continues on for quite a bit. I believe it lasts about 30 to 40 seconds. There are 4 of these side-scroller slate levels, so actually it allows plenty of time for donations during the event. You want to avoid the coffee cups that you see ahead of there, because it will trigger in changing the character into Evil Santa, which adds a good 10 to 20 seconds on to the run attempt. So you want to avoid that at the earlier levels.
We'll get to see the magic power up later on though, and it's pretty neat.
yes, there are certain levels where you will need them, so you can, because there are too many enemies to just run through. You will lose your health, so you will have to use it later on.
So this jump up onto the heart is is one of the only real frame perfect jumps. If reanimation were to miss that, it wastes a lot of time and has the potential of losing the run and killing Santa Claus, which is very terrible. A lot of frame perfect jumps here. Oh, he gets the frame perfect jump. There we go.
Nice.
It's a really hard clip to pull off.
The heart in the beginning of that's kind of like one cycling the glaciers. This
Yeah.
is newly found. So this will be the first level where we will be transforming into evil Santa. And the only thing we can take away from it is some sort of reference to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But it makes you invincible.
Oh, I mean, coffee generally does that.
Santa has to deliver all the presents on time, so he needs to become invincible. This is the only way. There we go, we're through. And transformation is complete.
This is another level we will be abusing coffee, along with the speed of the treadmills.
What he means with that speed of the treadmills is you want to run straight along on that versus jumping, because it does speed up the run through this level.
I noticed when doing the task for this game that Santa's acceleration actually increases by value of 3 when he runs on the treadmill. So we kind of abuse that. You can jump off the edges. Like most platformer games, it does give you a bit of boost. So we want to try to get to the edge, usually, when we make jumps as Evil Santa. This is the second boss, the Timekeeper. So,
Whoa, we did.
And moving immediately to the right, that prevents him from doing his first attack, right?
Yeah, instead of doing his animation, you run right behind him, and it's like the only manipulation on a boss.
You gotta hit this boss 7 times, and after you hit him the 7th time, you can go run over to where the star will appear, right here past the window. And it takes a few seconds off running over to that later on.
and this would be a great time for donations.
Also a great time to take the train. You know, it's a good holiday event.
We have time for a few more donations.
Again, this is another snow level, so you want to make sure to run right again, so you can hit the icebergs on the one cycle. Otherwise, you will waste time waiting for them to come back.
Other than the one cycling of the glaciers for this level, there's not too much to it. Although there's some well-timed jumps of the clouds coming up. otherwise fairly straightforward level.
You just jump, you just run straight down pretty much, and then start doing the double jump up to each second cloud, and then make your way back up again.
Very reminiscent of Mickey's World of Illusion. This is the first level that we actually want to avoid getting the coffee. You'll notice here in a few seconds that reanimation actually needs to do a frame-perfect clip through the top of the platform here. And he gets it.
What we did there is we abused an animation to break the barrier. What few game-breaking glitches there are, they all use some sort of animation abuse.
A reanimation, if you will.
So the biggest time save here is to jump through those little present-making sectors of this level. You don't do it properly, it wastes about 10 seconds, maybe 20 in total.
If reanimation were to actually walk through those, the present-making machines actually turn him into a present. And then he has to become unwrapped.
Yeah, I mean, this is a speedrun. We can't wait till Christmas.
Absolutely. This level is Magic Bubbles. You'll notice on the ground that there are these little triangle shapes. If reanimation were to walk into those, he actually gets pushed backwards. And it wastes a ton of time. He wants to make sure not to hit those. And he makes it. Here he's
Is
going
there
to
a
be
rope
going
glitch coming up here?
frame perfect jumps.
Do the glitch again right through the floor. You want to make sure to avoid those coat hanger guys, because they will knock you back and add extra time on as well.
The rope glitches in this level cut out, I want to say, around about 35 to 40% of the level.
Here's the hardest use of right D-pad in the game. He does it again. I don't know how he does it.
So reanimation needs to get a jump here off this. If you get hit by the coat hanger guys, they knock you backwards. It's very unfortunate. It's definitely a run killer. Frame perfect stops.
You saw it there, that's one thing that they knock you back.
Got me.
Another animation abuse as well. You can actually be knocked through the other guy. This is our third boss, Louie the Mouse. Reanimation wants to hit the switch and drop the 10-ton ball onto Louie the Mouse.
And then immediately after you drop the ball, he goes and he starts glitching out. You want to make sure to hit him and your problem with your attack in order to kill off his boss.
And there we go.
And with the presence when you can. That would be another great time to read off donations.
next level. John Board. That's the one with the hold right again. It's all you, man.
I'm not sure if it was mentioned early on, but in this level, these auto-scroller levels, reanimation needs to make sure to hold up and right. It will get you out the fastest possible when the level ends. Santa is automatically pushed to the top, so we want to make sure to be in the top right.
Alright, once again, the right D-pad is being abused. I don't think the controller's gonna hold up.
Let's make a really good blind segment.
And here we are at the shortest level in the whole run. Oh, and I messed up. All you have to do is fall. Fell the wrong way, but we're still out. It's okay. Still fast.
And even so, messing up that way only wastes 2 seconds, so it's not that big of a deal, really. Because it's such a fast level. This is another underground sewer level.
Unfortunately, you can't clip any of the stairs. Like you could in the earlier levels.
We have tried very hard to route this level
Coming up,
to get the stair
one of
clips.
the only RNGs, the plank RNG, and it was there.
Oh, he got bit by the plank
Missed
RNG.
it.
There are 2 levels that are sewer levels, and they both have plank RNG. Thankfully, if you're going to get plank RNG, it only happens in the beginning of the level. So there's not much of a time loss. It is very unfortunate, though.
We got it there.
There we go.
I'm not sure if you guys explained that too, but when he's making that first jump, there are 2 panels that slide out. If the first one is out, the second one that he needs to land at will also be out then.
Yes.
Easy for me to kind of time out that jump.
Now we get to a really neat level. This is Santa's house. In just a few moments, reanimation is going to do a frame-perfect clip through this wall, which is another animation abuse. And this saves 50% of the level or more. But he's got to line it up perfectly.
Just about.
Oh,
And he's through. Oh,
Didn't get
It's still a
together.
time save, but not as big if he had dropped through to the goal.
and he makes it.
This is a really good time for donations if there are any.
You could probably do one more donation. This is our last and final boss, Mr. Weather. Reanimation wants to line Santa's nose up with the middle line. There's a black line that runs through the middle of the screen. He wants to shoot his magic at the same frame as Mr. Weather.
And time.
He gets it.
And Christmas is saved yet again.
I'd like to take a second and thank you for having us at SGDQ. This was fun. And get ready for the next runner-up.